Hello and welcome to Critical Tumblr, where a bunch of longtime friends and nerdy-ass Tumblr users transcend geography through the power of Skype to play Dungeons & Dragons and critically fumble a lot. As you can see, I've actually got myself a new webcam and it actually works. So, sorry for anyone who thinks I'm absolutely hideous. You're not alone. I think that too. Well, I do. Anyway, point being, so now you actually see the GM grinning at you.
I think that's scarier. Just saying.
Lindira, who plays Clarity, our tiefling rogue, cannot be with us today, though we have promised that next session there's going to be all 5 of them. We promise, really, unless something horrible happens, which we really hope doesn't. In any case, in the lead up to this particular session, we had the thing at Star Coast, which I think we've all beaten into the ground by now, but mostly what they're doing is trying to prep for it. They hit a little bit of a bump in the road on the road to doing that because sometime the previous evening there were guards hammering on the door, apparently intent on taking Twilly, the one of the matriarchs of the Hearthheart family, off to Goldendale Manor. They protested this in sterling form, Jarvan. They eventually went along and met the Baron of Goldendale, who was not anything like what they thought, and was apparently in about as much trouble as the rest of the town may be, but he's trying to keep it from them or something, possibly. This was a result of a lot of eventual insight checks. Eventual. In any case, they solved a mysterious problem involving the collecting of a box from the tower of Mad Uncle Vendrin, a warlock apparently who was kind of keen on keeping people out of his shit because there were traps, there was the animate rug, and there was the spectator, which scared the living bejesus out of the players more than it did the characters, which, awesome. They did the job. They got a bunch of nifty and interesting things, a lot of books, new hammer, deck of illusions, and the bag of many things. So Clarity now has a bag of cute. Hooray for her. They also regained 2 acres of the Hearthheart holdings, which Hazel is boogieing because there will be cranberry apple preserves, which she's missed for near on 7 years now. And they eventually went to bed. How much sleep they got depends on how keyed up they were over the whole, after the bit in Star Coast, having guards hammer on their door. Nora, meanwhile, was spending the day and the evening at the Full Pantheon Shrine, learning a bit of Celestial, because apparently in a lot of those old tombs, there's writing that will actually help guide, and it's not generally in common. So she got taught Celestial by Estan, who was impatient about it, but apparently of the view that what he actually said to her was, "You said undead. This is an abomination unto Nerul, and it will not stand. So yes, I'm gonna bloody help you. Besides, you seem the most competent of the lot, with the exception of the Dragonborn." So there was that, and in the off hours, also studying the manual of bodily health that she had. So she's got all the advantages of that now. She also helped Lyra and the cleric of Istis, the goddess of fate, scry into bits about the chasm, so she's got some information there. Spent the night, found out how multi-pantheon, full pantheon shrines operate, which was interesting for her, and probably slept better than all of the rest of y'all. Next morning, Nora, were you going to help in the herb garden or do the sparring?
Let's see. I'm kind of torn either way. Let's do the herb garden. Why not? Let's help in the herb garden.
I mean, it's nice and calm, and Lyra's sort of pointing out little bits of medicinal herb lore and stuff that you would find on the road that might supplement trail rations and that kind of thing. And it's the sort of thing that your father and your mother, frankly, but mostly your father, would have walked you through as well. But she's going a little bit further along that line. Your peace and quiet is interrupted by it's not quite yelling, you can't quite hear what it is that's being said, but somebody in the shrine is causing a ruckus. And Lyra's just sort of going, oh dear.
Okay.
Would you mind having a quick look at what's going on in there?
Of course. Should I be worried? You sound like this is familiar territory.
It's not, but I've been around enough to know that raised voices and that sort of thing is never a good thing.
Point. Okay, so is there a door nearby that I can just kind of...
Oh yeah, there's a back door that will cut you in through the kitchen. You'll have to get into the kitchen and look around. And Nora, you peer out of the kitchen door in just enough time to see Estan deck a tall-ish, middle-aged, portly guy who looks like shopkeeper. You will not talk that way about people who are not there to defend themselves, you little shit. I can't do anything else to you. You may be scared of me because I serve a god of death, but that's not what we do. So I will keep serving in my capacity, but that does not mean I have to sit there and listen to this nonsense. Now get out and do your praying some other time. Guy runs. Turns around and looks at you.
Yes. Lyra sent me in to check on the commotion.
It's handled.
I could tell. Do you just want me to tell Lyra that and nothing else, or?
I don't think she will want to hear it. I'll explain it to her in a quieter moment.
Can I do anything for you?
Just be the sensible one. You're going back to your people, aren't you?
That's the intention.
Be the sensible one. You're going to have to be. It picks up his book again and stomps out.
Okay, well.
We lost
Antius.
Well, he'll come back in, I imagine, when.
Okay.
I think he's having problems with his camera because that's what he sounded like he was. You were apparently freezing for him, so.
Okay, well, so then I'm gonna kind of walk back outside and there was somebody who Estan was apparently not very happy with, more so than usual, and he said to tell you that it's handled, and he'll tell you more about what's going on in a quieter time.
Okay. I will
Sorry about that.
No, that's okay. I will talk to him. If he didn't want to discuss it around anyone else, I'll leave it for the time being. And sunshine flits in. Boink. On top of Nora's head.
Hello.
Holding a note. Hello, sunshine. How is your time been? It hisses and clisses. Oh, well, as long as it's not because you're unhappy here. In fact, you can actually feel whole body wiggle with emphatic head shaking. Oh no, I entirely understand. Look, it's sort of okay. This note's for you. Hands it
thank
to
you.
Nora, because obviously, why would it be for me?
All right, so open it up.
The note is from Miranda. It's saying that the other three will, well, the other three will probably be at the Golden Bough, but they'll be there later. And Clarity is going to stay at Hearthhome doing some reading. They will explain when you meet up. They might be a little late because
Right
they
then.
are going to have a lie-in.
If they need to explain things, then I assume a lie-in is necessary. The note says that I'm going to be meeting with my friends over at the tavern, but it will be later, possibly after lunch, quite a bit after lunch.
Well, to be fair, it's not that bad. What it sounds like is late lunch rather than
Okay,
brunch
then like
kind of
2
a
in the
situation.
afternoon.
Yeah. Well,
Got it.
that gives you a little bit more time in the herb garden if you like.
Of course. I mean, I just put me to work. Show me where I'm needed. It feels good to work with my hands.
It's not so much the work. It's more the education and getting in touch with the living things. It's a part of your oath now.
That it is, and I am grateful for it.
So the rest of things passes. You've had a light but healthy breakfast, but you'll be glad of a good solid lunch at the end of this. You know, it's learning a lot, and it's also getting you thinking, you know what we never did? We got weapons, we got armor. Oh, have to check that after I meet up with the others. But you know what we never did? Potions and food.
Waiting for someone to catch on.
Meantime.
All right then.
Meantime, at Hearthhome. I am gathering that none of you slept particularly well. I mean, yes, emotional overexertion, yes, but also stress.
Nightmares.
Just a lot of rolling around, sleeplessness, and eventually conking out and sleeping like a rock.
Nightmares.
Versa?
Probably some issues initially getting to sleep, but after.
So much like Hazel then.
Yeah.
So most, and you also have the rather unfortunate sleep disruption of, when you finally start conking out, you get Darvin going, "Nyah!" and Keth just going, I'm gonna go sleep in the living area. Stomp, 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 stomp.
Yeah, a lot of like here and there, and a lot of tossing and turning, and a lot of like, yeah, ending up like half on the bed, half off, just like you know. So yeah, it was a rough. It was rough. It was more than a little rough.
Come the morning, rather unusually, because normally it's one of the kids. Hazel gets shaken awake by Miranda. Hazel, darling?
Yeah.
Twilly and I need to have a word with the rest of the little ones, and you know and you understand why what happened last night happened. They don't quite. I think our day would be best spent explaining matters to the little ones. So I was wondering if you wouldn't mind taking breakfast to the others. And I know we took the liberty of sending a note to the shrine. Sunshine will be back with Evan shortly, probably before the poor little mite wakes up. But just saying that you'll be there sort of little ways after midday for a late lunch.
I can do the things.
We'll leave a tray out. Actually sets a mug of tea down to wake you up a little bit, darling. Smooths down her hair, puts a little kiss on top of her head and leaves.
I'm going to be nursing that mug of tea for a bit now, while starting to
wake up. Yeah, it's Miranda's patented get up and go tea, so you're good. And let's face it, they probably need something to help with the get up and go, just on the basis of they now are taking care of 9 small children. In any case, once she comes out, the rest of the kids are sort of starting to get up, and there's a tray of breakfast for Clarity and Froseth and Darvin. It's fairly light because they know that you guys are going to have a good feed at the Golden Bough later, so it's these thin, cold pancakes and a selection of jams and things. It's basically crepes. So it's sort of a put together your own breakfast sweet fajitas kind of thing. You just add in, and Twilly, as she's bustling around for the rest of them, is sort of going, we will be working towards the cranberry apple preserves, but you know that sort of thing wasn't done in a day. Stands up on tiptoe, kisses her on the cheek, gives her a little hug, and then it shoos her out the door. Go, feed your friends.
Up goes tray.
Yes.
And outdoor go I with my stuff and the bag of holding.
Yeah. Clarity has basically settled in for the duration. She's surrounded by all the books you guys have collected from Vrendren's hold, and you're not getting her out of there without a pry bar, so you might want to, on your way out, recommend to Twilly and Miranda that they send a sandwich or something.
I'm just gonna leave set the tray down relatively nearby, try and awkwardly hug her around the reading, and skip off to the next bunch.
Yes. Darvin is kind of asleep, but he's kind of hanging so that his head is almost touching the floor.
Yep.
Exactly. And Froseth it looks tired. He's trying to meditate, but it's sort of half nodding off in the middle of it because he didn't sleep well because of this one.
I'm going to set Froseth's tray down near him. Set Darvin's tray aside.
Well, because Darvin's slept so shallowly, he hears clank and
yeah, I'm gonna.
I was wondering what was going to get you up.
Oh god.
Start with my foot and work the rest of the way up.
Yes, Darvin is suffering from a point of exhaustion. Froseth managed just to get enough sleep, probably partway through, partly due to the half nodded off meditation after he finally gave up on the idea of actually properly trying to get any sleep. Darvin looks like shit.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, I am going to be throwing you into the bath later. But first, breakfast. Get. Both of you, breakfast get.
There is the get up and go tea for all of you, and it under normal circumstances it would actually kind of be a fun sort of breakfast, just figuring out which preserves are which, because nothing's labeled. It's just little. It's basically a shared thing. So you each get a plate of very thin pancakes, and then there's just these bowls of various jams and. Is Hazel going to share the rest of what as far as meeting Nora goes and what she saw of Clarity?
So, okay. Clarity. She's probably not going anywhere. Gonna have to get sandwiches sent in her general direction before she, peels over while reading. Nora, we're going to be meeting for food things soon-ish.
Food things.
Hazel.
And in general, we are going to have to be in the town space just because Mom and Mama have things to explain to the rest of the... Wake up! There are things that need explaining, so we have to be in the town space, getting the food things, and just
Not to
eating-
mention that you have to check and make sure that what the damage is from the gossip last night.
and I have things to make sure of and people to possibly throttle.
I dare you to make less sense.
Wake up!
Do you need a splash of water to wake you up a bit? It was a serious question.
Tea, and then we'll see about straightening out everything else that's fogging up your brain.
Breakfast helps. The tea does very much help. I mean, you're still wrecked, and yeah, it's not so much that you are in need of a bath that way, but it's yet another way of waking you up. In fact, part of the reason that Hazel is so insistent on this is because she knows that one of the homemade soaps that the Hearthhearts do is very much a sort of a rosemary and bergamot wake you up kind of a thing.
Sorry.
So
It was a no. Sorry. Bad.
Sorry.
Bad. Lots stuff. Yeah.
All you gotta do is just keep going through the motions and cycles until you're more awake than now.
I'll be alright.
Good.
yeah, because that was either going to be good or bullshit. Probably from Hazel, good. From Froseth, bullshit.
When Darvin it looks like he's done, Hazel's just basically just gonna grab him and start yanking him in the direction of the bath.
He's not even bothering to resist. He's just like, fine, whatever. It's fine.
Yeah. After some light breakfast, the tea, and seriously, the soap itself is better than smelling salts. It's just, oh, okay, I'm up now.
Okay,
That
good.
clears
So
the
this
side
is
of it.
real. All right.
So that's a
Oh,
thing.
you! Hazel's shouting from her own end of the bath.
Once all that has happened, it's the usual walk into town by now. Again, the it's a little bit cooler today, so there's a bit of a breeze, and with your hair drying, it's dry by the time you get there, but you're as awake as you're gonna be. You're relatively with it, just
Just got some Samsonite under the eyes. Some
yeah.
luggage. I've got some bags I'm holding of my own.
Nora, meanwhile, finishes her work in the herb garden and heads out with her. Now I remember the last things that we needed to prepare, and her little celestial to common dictionary, which no one but her is allowed to look at, and make me a perception check.
Okay. Perception is in the big box. Yes, there. Where's my rolls? And hey, that was a 20. All said and done. Not a nat 20, but a 20.
Yeah, Nora. As you walk through the town, you'll notice that you're getting some looks. Some of them are a little wary. Some of them are fairly sympathetic. There's a couple of very quiet arguments that start as people catch sight of you.
Do I see any sort of friendly face who might be willing to talk to me if I ask them why they kept looking at me?
Nobody that you're friendly with has been giving you the look. You do, however, see Felicia coming out of the Tanners.
Okay. Is she close enough that I can fly her down?
Yeah, I mean, she's actually heading in the same direction as you are, and she looks at you and this. Oh, hello.
Hello. Okay, so did something happen that I missed because things feel weird. Hi. Good morning. How are you?
That was a terrible lot to throw at me all at once.
I'm sorry. It's a couple of days.
I honestly couldn't say. You're sort of the first person I've seen this morning.
Huh. Well, if you're heading to the Golden Bough, should we go sit down and have some lunch together? Breakfast? What time is it? DM.
Lunchtime,
yes.
It's getting to late lunch, around about 1:30 kind of thing. So the rest of them should be heading in fairly soon.
Well, if you'd like, I'm headed to the Golden Bough, gonna meet with everyone else and grab some lunch. Would you like to join us?
I as far as I understand from some of what I've heard of the ballad that your bard friend was singing, you probably have business to attend to, but I'll join you on the walk.
Sure. And so off we go.
Felicia keeps a running commentary of it's not what's going on and why why Nora's getting looks, but it is it's a little bit of a rundown of what people are up to. You've got Ferris over there. He actually won the pie eating contest 5 years running, and he's probably not very impressed with Jenna for having beat him out this year, but I suppose Blueberry is just not his pie. That kind of thing, just the various bits of town.
All right. Being the town newsletter, got it.
Yeah. And you get into the Golden Bough, and you got Benson looking up, giving Nora a nod, and giving Felicia this sort of kind of look.
Do I need a perception roll to understand that's what happened, or am I good?
Insight check to find out.
Okay.
The look that.
All right. I was like, 'cause I will go talk to Benson. I will excuse myself, but if I got to insight check it first, then I will. And a critical fail. First one of the night. There we go.
No, you're far too involved with because now the gossip has turned to tales of Hazel growing up before she came to the temple, and she's too busy laughing at the time Hazel got herself caught up a tree because she was climbing a tree and she got cold. And she went to put her jacket back on, and she'd managed to get it caught on another branch above her, and had buttoned it all up, and it was good tight buttons, because of course Hazel was always losing bits of outerwear, and the branch she was clinging to broke, so there she is hanging by the back of her jacket.
Oh no. All right then.
But Felicia sees she does say, I'm also given to understand that you're rather friendly with Benson. I'll just order myself a cider and take a seat and leave you to wait for your friends. And she does fairly quickly.
Okay.
You don't think anything of this. It's just, she's she does actually have a book as well. So, because of course she's
Got it.
also sort of the town library. So
Got it.
she clearly just wants to sit
Read
with
a
her
book.
book, but she wanted to keep you company.
Got it.
Benson going, all's well, yeah, lass?
I honestly, I don't know, Benson. Felicia seemed fine, but I was getting some funny looks headed this way from the shrine. She didn't seem to know what was going on, but you?
Well, I do know that there's been a bit of a decree, I suppose, from from up yon manor. Something about how it's a funny thing, and I don't know if it's to do with any of yours, but it's regarding prejudging anyone with magics. Something about how'd they put it? There's a sign out on the back. It's something about understanding the arcane or something. I honestly don't know, but it's got a bit funny. In any case, I imagine that your more arcane-oriented friends will likely have some more ideas about this than I do. So I'll just ask, what do you have?
Well, you spoke wonderfully about that rest day roast, and I'd love to have some of that.
Well, that's more or less all we've got on a rest day, the roast.
Perfect. But as for drink, as wonderful as your ale is, and it is, I'm needing a taste of home now. Do you have any of my parents' stuff left?
I think we've still got one barrel of it that wasn't mucked up by Hazeltine.
Yay.
I'll get you some of that.
Thank you.
At this point, Darvin, Hazel, and Froseth walk in. What you see is Nora at the bar being handed a mug, and you've had the similar looks, but you know what those are about. And Felicia in a corner with a book.
You!
Yeah.
Gossipy little bitch!
Whoa, hey!
I'm
And I'm
charging
gonna move
straight
to
at
kind
her.
of-
I'm gonna grab her by the collar.
and I'm gonna step away.
Make no strength check from Froseth.
Fair enough.
I would have gone for the grab, but I'm still kind of
Yeah. What Nora sees is Darvin, dark circles
7.
under his. Oh my God, Darvin, dark circles under his eyes. Hazel just gets into flailing foam at the mouth, inflated Studio Ghibli hair rage. It starts charging for Felicia. Froseth grabs for her robe hood, and it actually rips.
Can I move to intercept? Is that possible?
You can move to intercept, but you will also have to make me a strength check to see if you can actually stop her.
All right. I'm gonna pop out. And strength is where on this list? Oh, higher up. No, yeah, there. 17.
That does beat your AC, doesn't it?
Yeah, my AC is.
Yeah. Oh, well, first,
Okay, it's just below mine, and I've got the highest one in the group.
yeah. Froseth is sort of left with the hood of
My
Hazel's
AC is 11.
robe, going, "Oh no!" At which point, Nora basically sort of body blocks her so that you've got Hazel sort of leaned over Nora's shoulder, flailing. Meanwhile, Felicia is just sort of hiding under the table.
Would you like to tell me what is going on before you do any more damage to any sort of place of business?
She almost got
Felicia
arrested.
Felicia's sort
What?
of sidling towards the door at this point.
No,
Somebody stop her! I'm.
you don't move. You tell me what happened.
We don't know who you is.
You, Felicia, don't leave yet. You, Hazel, what? Arrested? What?
Guards in the middle of the night, all up in everything, demanding that Mom go with them, and they brought the fucking prison wagon.
Why? What?
Because that little shit started blabbering.
At which point Felicia just goes, "Look! I've known Twilly Hobhart for most of
Don't
my life.
care!
She comes into my tannery with a tiefling and magic. What was I supposed to think?"
You're supposed to keep your damn mouth shut. That's what you're supposed to do.
Felicia, if you've known Twilly most of your life, would you not know that she wasn't up to something terrible?
As far as I knew, she didn't have magic. Then she has tiefling with her, and she has magic. It was confusing.
You're confusing. If you've known her most of your life, you know it wasn't anything terrible. You be quiet, Felicia. Hazel, what else?
We ended up having to talk to the Baron, who definitely does not look like what I was expecting, but then he had us go into a tower that a warlock had filled with traps, and there was this floating eyeball thing, and we had to kill a rug and ultimately bring back a box.
Okay, Hazel, stop. Frozen, make this make sense.
It might take a little bit. We're probably gonna need to get a seat. There's some things about last night I'd like to talk to the others who were there about as well.
Okay,
So-
well then let's stop with this. Felicia, I obviously have no claim over actually holding you or not. I will say that telling anyone anything like what you apparently told that got Twilly arrested
All I
was
did,
uncalled for,
all
and
I
it will be
did,
remembered.
all I did was tell people what actually happened. Twilly Hobhart, Mother
And they
Extraordinaire, comes at me.
They needed to know why. They saw us around with our tiefling friend, whose name is Clarity. They saw us with the Hearthhearts. They saw Twilly with the Hearthhearts. Or they know Twilly's a Hearthheart. They saw Clarity with the Hearthhearts. So telling anyone anything makes no sense.
I tell people things. It's what I do.
Obviously.
I'm going to try to get past Nora and slug
No.
Felicia in the face.
And I'm just going to kind of I'm not letting go. No, we're not letting go. Have a good day.
Make me a dex check, Hazel. No, Nora's had quite enough of this, and Felicia takes the opportunity to just, boom, she's gone. And Benson is just sort of going, ma'am, your meal's on the house. You seem to have managed to keep yet more holes from turning up in my bar. Thank you for that.
Least I could do for you, Benson. I'll try to make sure my parents know about what happened to your stock as well, and see if they can't help out any.
Oh, much appreciated. Order for the rest of you all.
Ale, yours.
I'm not entirely sure that's what you need, lad.
I don't think it is.
Okay.
Do you have anything that wakes people up? Because if you do,
Yeah, that works.
we're putting that inside him.
Okay.
I've just the thing.
Thank you.
You two?
Whatever Nora's got.
Benson, small glass.
Her
Yes,
mug.
that too. Yeah.
Very
He
small.
actually-
yeah.
You
he
have
actually-
a thimble.
No, he actually produces that coffee mug sized mug, and it's now actually got her name on it.
I was about to
It's
ask.
actually it's actually really nicely engraved with little hazel branches around the name. It's actually really pretty.
Thank
With a
you.
little tiny green bow tied to the handle.
Yeah,
I love it.
we'll go with that.
Really? Oh my god.
I love it.
Thank you.
I mean, it's an enamel bow, and you can tell that Jenna has probably done this.
That's brilliant.
Swear
was just-
this Town is
Frozen?
I'll just have the same as them.
Okay.
Wait,
so-
it's rest and some roast if you yes. Is it ready?
We
Oh, please tell me it's ready.
it looks at Nora going, can you keep him calm for like 10 minutes while I dish up?
Let
Yeah,
me see if I can
yeah,
put this
yeah,
one
yeah,
down yet,
yeah.
and then
I'll be
we'll go
fine, I'll
from
be
there.
Well,
fine.
Felicia's gone.
Well, that doesn't mean Hazel's calmed down enough to let go of.
Fair point.
just let go already.
You don't get to run off.
I'm not going anywhere. Just let go.
All right. So slowly just kind of let go of Hazel.
She's already
Ew.
deflating. Like she's taking a few. She's trying to take some hints from Froseth here.
Okay, so you kind of reach up and pat Darvin's cheek. Be quiet and let the man work.
Sorry.
Listen.
It's been a night.
You look like it.
In point of fact, you have all got mugs of your own. Hazel will actually know this is a thing. It's just that Hazel's never really been old enough to actually have one. Remember, she's still fairly young. So Nora's is got a border of, up above and below her name, swords. Symbols of Pelor, the sun symbol of Pelor on either side, just there. Froseth has got this actually rather ornate dragon-shaped handle, and we don't know how Jenna's got the idea, but probably it's to do with the comma. At the top, above his name, is this pattern that looks a bit like gust of wind, waves underneath, flame to the left, and to the right, a sort of a stone outcropping looking shape. And Darvin's has got music staves above and below, a drum on the right and a lute on the left.
I get it.
His, however, at this point is about half full of this black liquid that, yes, it's coffee, but it's beyond coffee. It's like it's brown black, so it's not like the sludgy, but it smells like coffee, various spices, and there's a fair bit of sugar in that. It's meant to be downed in one go.
It's a shot. It's a coffee shot.
Yeah, I'm like, breathe. Boom.
Well, at least he understands how to down one of those.
No kidding.
Make me a Constitution saving throw.
I can see noises.
If you don't do well on this roll, you probably will. Yes.
Oh, that's gonna be said regardless.
Yeah. No.
He got a 6.
He's vibrating.
Arvin.
Now he can, and Benson's just now he can have
Darvin.
ale. Rinses out
Darvin,
the
can
mug.
you see through time?
I'll be alright. I will never blink. But I'll be alright.
I should die in character.
I'm wondering if I should hold on to the table. Is it going to start shaking?
No, but Darvin is.
Yes,
Exactly.
Benson sets down a mug of ale. It's like this is our dark. It'll settle him back down. He's sort of the absolute diametric opposite of drunk right this second.
Yeah.
So he needs to get a drink in him to get him back on even keel. But it'll be all right.
Okay, good.
Exactly.
And
Thank you.
sets
Spoken like a
down.
baby.
That is why I'm not allowed that stuff.
Your head would.
You mean it's not something you do on a normal basis?
Your head would.
Every time I think I have you figured out.
Okay, so yes, he sets down your pretty mugs, and yeah, he hasn't filled Darvin's all the way because he doesn't want that to happen.
like, straws a thing in this in DM?
No, he's only got it 2/3 full.
Oh, okay,
because
good.
He doesn't want you to slaughter.
Okay,
He
good.
knew what he was feeding you.
Okay.
He knows the risks.
He'll be settled after his first swallow or two of the ale. So get him to get it down him. I'll be in with your food in about 10 minutes. Do you have preference of white meat or dark?
No preference.
No preference.
Well,
No pref.
Surprises.
Dark.
Tell you what, 2 of each.
I'll give you
Two
an actual answer. Dirk.
Thank you. Actually, pats Darvin on the vibrating head as he walks out.
Like the man wanted an actual answer. Come on.
Speaking of actual answers, somebody catch me up on what's happened?
Yes.
Because, wow, guys, I leave you for a day.
And we had an adventure.
And stuff happens, we know.
Yeah, we got arrested.
What? I thought...
Technically, no.
They wouldn't let us leave if we didn't go. Okay, Twilly got arrested.
Start from the beginning.
That's part of the thing.
Not you.
Yes.
Process, you. Start from the beginning.
Yes. So, last night, middle of the night, as they have mentioned, the town guards came to the homestead to cart Twilly off after finding she's able to use magic. So, what essentially turned into a larger scene than it needed to be. And no, it wasn't who you're thinking.
What?
It was him, not me.
To be fair, it was also Clarity.
Yes. So
I trusted
after
you, Taylor. Continue, Froseth.
I'm not going
So,
to apologize for the fact that less than a week after losing the only family I've known my entire life, I just came close to losing the second one. I will apologize, and I did apologize
Yes.
for what I had said. When
No one
after
said
all,
you
after
can't
all was said and done, I'm sorry
No one
it pushed
said
me
you
a little
can't
over the edge at the time,
care.
and then contributed to the nightmares.
Yes.
And Froseth still. Can I finish?
Anyway. So yeah, the guards came after finding out they were taking Twilly away. They had basically asked, and they did ask, they didn't force us to go along and see if we could perform a task for the Baron and maybe get this sorted out without having the big issue. At which point is when Darvin made a big deal about, are we arrested, are we not? And he went on for a good 10 minutes not letting this go. And they weren't disarming us. They weren't locking the cage. Even if they did, I really don't think that would have stopped us if something happened.
No, you're.
And the scene
know,
made, the point I want to make to Darvin is the scene made in front of all the kids watching did not help. The family.
They were.
Oh. Well, oh.
They were peering around the doorframe.
And the kids were there, Darvin? Really?
You think they could have slept through that?
Anyway, after that, we went off to the manor, which, from the stories of how they're taking more and more gold, isn't really as well decorated as you would think. There's definitely, I'm not the best judge of this for obvious reasons.
It was sparse, and there were spaces missing. Like, there were spaces where stuff had been, like, recently. Like, you could see the discoloration in the floor.
Like stuff had been sold off?
Bingo!
Yep.
Something's going on there.
And I kind of, and yes, after the fact, I felt like an asshole. Sorry.
Yeah.
The man looked like he was maybe 2 words away from panicking.
Yeah.
Or having a meltdown bigger than any of mine ever were.
Well,
So
Seneschal's still an asshole, and I still want to set his desk on fire.
Yeah, his
the
desk.
the task he needed done, they have a tower behind the manor that belonged to an uncle of his that was a warlock. There's a box in there he needed retrieved. He basically gave us the choice: either we go in and do it, or he's going to get Twilly in there to do it and probably retain her services afterwards. So of course we went.
Make me an intelligence check, all 4 of you.
because there's something that's bugging me as a player, but I don't know if it's a character I would have put it together yet. Can I tell you what it
11.
is and you can...
Oof.
1.
Okay, straight intelligence?
hmm
9.
Well, what were you thinking?
It's obvious that we know how to do magic because Clarity showed up with Twilly for magical armor. Froseth and Clarity were practicing all day, off and on throughout the fair. Froseth's a dragonborn. It's obvious that we have magical people. I am a
No.
paladin.
What you're thinking, what I will explain is, remember, Twilly was the one who had to, in front of Felicia, solidify the
Right.
necrotic resistances on the armor. That's how they knew she could do it.
Right. But
You're passing through.
okay. Okay. fair
And
enough.
besides, you and Hazel, yours is
Holy.
subject to the will of your gods.
Got it.
You
Okay.
aren't. Nobody is going to attempt to force
Okay.
a
god.
well, no one wants to force a potential conflict between their orders and what a god wants of their chosen.
Got it.
Hazel just about gets it. It's
You've done-
hard. It's hard for her, but as a realization, it actually stings. It would have been better for the barony if they'd kept Twilly. They didn't.
Well,
He didn't have to offer that to you.
Darwin
in
just
fact,
rolled an 18.
Oh, okay. In which case, yeah. But why
The
did you
first
roll
one was
twice?
a save by accident.
Oh, okay. Yes. So yeah, Darwin sees it first. Hazel just about gets it. If you see, the thing is that he can't really retain your services, not after, long term, not after what he's heard about, from the ballad that Darwin sang. Clearly something's stressing him out. Something big. If he'd retained Twilly's services, he would have had protection from that longer term that he didn't have to pay for. What he did was actually the actions of a good guy.
And that, yeah, and all of the, all of that realization is part of the reason for the nightmares, along and along. And all of this kind of contributed, all rolled up. It was like, when you're laying in bed trying to fall asleep, and your brain goes, "Hey, what about all those mistakes you've made recently?" It was that. Kind of all rolled up with the idea, holy shit, I nearly lost my family again. And that's so yeah, it makes sense.
This realization hits me like right about now-ish, probably. So I'm just going to face into table.
Benson, entirely unfazed by this, turns up and sets a plate of goose and mashed potatoes and veggies with white meat on top of Hazel's head. Because it's on where he'd normally put food, so. And then sets a similar one with dark meat in front of Darwin and Nora, and Froseth gets white.
Bless you, sir.
Thank you.
Here,
Thank
Darwin,
you.
Hazel, hold on. There. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, I kind of realized some of this. I'm assuming it just hit you now, because that's kind of
Yeah.
yeah. I was getting kind of it was there, and yeah, this is the nightmares. Yeah, that was
Yeah, these two, you have no idea what those two are talking about.
Oh, by the way, Nora, I
Yes.
got a new hammer.
Oh god.
And that's when you realize you still have her hammer.
I still had yours, and you went in the. Oh, you used your. Oh.
Well, actually,
She actually didn't end up shooting anyone.
yeah,
with it.
I was impressed.
She was really well behaved and not spazzy at all last night. It was
Well, yeah, actually, I was,
yeah,
I
no,
was the,
she
I
was
the asshole.
on.
Look, I realize. Okay, I get it. It won't happen again.
Am I still dreaming?
You're
I
awake.
fell asleep at the shrine, right? This is a nap, right?
You're awake.
Look,
You are
Then act
very
like
much
that
awake.
more often.
look. Hazel actually asked Froseth for advice on how to calm down. I know, right?
Oh wow.
Unfortunately, apparently, I heard the advice too, but apparently I didn't take it. So.
Apparently not.
Apparently, Pelor really does answer prayers.
That's what I was gonna say. Pelor is answering prayers. Holy wow.
I did apologize to the Baron after all was said and done for my behavior. Still, the other guy, and I still want to find out why the hell the other guy was able to do so much. They sent the freaking prison
This.
wagon.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
this is something we're
yes.
going to have to look into when we've got more
Wait,
time.
Yeah.
Wait. What other guy? Guys,
the-
slow.
Seneschal.
Yeah, that guy. The Seneschal.
So the Seneschal. Did the Baron know the Seneschal?
Yeah. Oh well, the Baron told
Baron
the Seneschal
sent him.
but gave the Seneschal free reign to do it however he wanted. So next thing
And
we
so
know,
he came in
that's-
the middle of the night.
with a prison
in a
wagon. What
prison-
else was I supposed to think? They're making it
Well-
sound like we're taking Twilly, we're keeping her under protective custody, or however it was they termed it. Where I'm like, she can't leave. You're putting her in a gilded cage. Sorry.
Yeah. No,
No one is saying you can't care, but sometimes the best thing to do is go along with it until you're in a better position to fight back.
I know. I just.
I am walking proof that exploding only does so much.
It's been less than a week. Okay.
yeah,
sorry.
no.
It's been less than a week. It's still sorry.
It's still fresh and it's still raw, and no one's saying it
Sorry.
shouldn't be.
Sorry. That's just. I know what nobles are like when they do shit like that, and.
But here's the problem. In the life you've chosen, you don't have the protection of being another noble. You're one of us.
Yeah, I know.
And you're stuck in the same piles of nonsense that we all are. Though we did get out of one pile of nonsense. We killed
So-
a floating eyeball of doom.
Yeah,
and a
that was
rug.
bizarre. Yeah, there was
And we got
Actually-
the Conjuring Hat back.
Actually, Nora will have heard stories about this, and given her mother, she will wonder whether it was a beholder or a spectator, because
Yeah,
she
are
would
there
know
any-
the difference.
Are there any questions I can ask in character that would not just be, was it a beholder?
How many eye stalks?
How many eye stalks did it have?
well, like 4. I
Not a
think?
lot, it's tiny.
A lot does not answer the question.
I
How
said
many?
not a lot.
Like
Not,
Not a lot,
lot.
okay.
You all saw 4, 2 on
4?
either side.
Yeah, like 4 and
And,
And
the
it was
main-
about-
and it was just sort of there, and like it was talking. It was like, yeah, you're fine to stand there. Just don't come in and take anything. And
And
but
then lasers.
And then
Well,
Twilly,
beams of
Twilly
radiant
tried to
offense.
pull a bit of a
Clarity.
fast one.
Clarity.
Clarity tried to pull a bit of a fast one, and it was like,
Huh.
well, I'm sorry, I have to kill you now. So it was really polite about it.
Beams from the eyeballs.
And-
You don't realize how lucky you all were. A few more eye stalks and a little more viciousness, and you wouldn't be here. I'm proud of all of you.
And then there was the rug.
Yeah, we killed a rug. It looked like a rug, but it wasn't a
So
rug.
did
They
the
got
treasure
up and
chest
tried to
that
kill us
nearly
all.
ate my foot.
Yeah, I don't think it was one of those, but I mean, it was whatever. It looked like a rug, and it was alive.
It acted
And
like
it
a
went
rug.
up around Clarity.
It just could move. It looked like a rug, acted like a rug, except it got up and tried to strangle people.
Well, yeah, just up around Clarity. And
Okay.
I was
And
gonna try to.
Clarity's okay, right? The letter from Miranda just said she was going to be at home reading, but
No,
she's
she's-
fine, isn't she?
Yeah.
She's
No,
She's
she was
fine.
amazing.
She
Okay.
She
Although,
was
in all fairness to Nora, given that apparently whatever gossip Felicia accidentally started may have indicated that perhaps Clarity is not as much tiefling as she looks and is possibly a patron for, as far as the town is concerned, new magic user. You know how things get garbled. I mean, Nora
Yeah.
will know how
Telephone.
things get garbled.
Game of
in-
telephone.
Yep.
and she'll have seen it in her parents' tavern all the time.
Yeah.
But
Clarity-
it's probably just as well that Clarity
Isn't here.
and Twilly, frankly, stay home until people can sort it out. The other thing you all have realized is, as well as the Baron's decree on these things, there's two other, well, three, in fact, other apparently, because Nora will probably have put it together by now. What do you think Eston was having such a flap about?
Was he asking to smite magic users? Was that the whole deal there?
Well, you don't
You never
don't know
asked.
exactly, but it was definitely, he did definitely
I did
say-
ask. He told me he wasn't going to tell me.
Yeah, well, it's you don't know, but you did hear. I won't hear anyone talk that way about
And
people
I'll
who aren't
serve
there
in
to
my-
defend themselves.
I'll serve
And-
my own.
So Nora sort of tick. Oh.
So
You
yeah,
know-
there was the rug and Clarity, and we got well, it was cool. Froseth grabs one end of the rug and just kind of goes zip. It was neat. But then
we held the rug down and Clarity cut it in half, and then when we fought the eyeball thing,
it hit her with something.
and then she made it explode.
Yeah, well, she fire. Boom. She was not happy.
I don't blame her.
It was amazing. It was wonderful.
Honestly,
It was
kind of
fantastic.
hot. Oh,
Oh.
no, I'm Darvin now.
Oh.
Oh no.
I'm the one that's supposed to do that. Wait, if this one's making puns, does that mean I have to start healing?
Oh, please no. Please no. Did the Baron say anything about a decree? Because Benson's mentioned one that went around. It was some sort of
He did say he'd sort it out as best he could.
yeah.
That he'd do some.
Um,
No, this is just for these guys
Yeah.
because the Baron did say that he would do what he could to tamp the rumors down, or at least give some context on them that wouldn't terrify the townsfolk.
Well, this sounds like his attempt at a fix for the whole mess to begin with, but
I mean,
I
people are
don't.
stupid.
I don't know that it worked. There was a
But it's still early days, and this was fairly early
Well,
in the morning, so
right.
they might not have seen it yet.
Yeah, I mean,
well, there was a commotion at the shrine this morning. There was a. I didn't recognize
Seriously?
him. Yeah. Estad decked somebody.
wait.
Yeah.
Woo!
It
Damn.
was some guy. I didn't recognize him. He was older, 40s, a little portly. But Estan essentially told him that he would not hear this man talking that way about people who weren't there to defend themselves, and Estan would continue to serve in whatever way he best saw fit. And just because he served the god of death didn't mean he'd stand for that. And then he wouldn't tell me what happened after the guy left. He kicked the guy out of the shrine.
Eston is Eston. He is really grumpy all the time.
This was more than Stan's usual.
Benson is making the rounds. It's fairly crowded, but the conversation around you is more or less giving you your own little ring of privacy. But Benson comes in with a tankard, with flagon. Same again.
Please, yes.
Yep. And
thank you again.
Yes,
Sora, I know it was different. My point is just that to most people, it's just gonna sound like he's just being his grumpy ass self.
And
which is why I'm not saying it to most people.
Benson actually looks over, going, "That Eston."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He punched somebody, apparently.
Was this about? I'm sorry, I don't mean to eavesdrop, but I need to find out when you when you need more.
It was.
You were talking about issues with Mrs. Arthur.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. He actually starts chuckling a little bit. Well,
Okay.
he's an older gent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Back in the day, he had quite the thing for the missus. It still has a world of respect for.
What?
Hush.
If somebody was going on and saying things about magic users and that one in particular, yeah, he was gonna get
A little crosswise. Yep. Thank you. That brings a lot of things to light.
Suddenly I like him a lot more than I did before. I mean, I didn't dislike the guy, but hey, props.
Well, thank you, Vincent. That was enlightening.
What? Hey,
Well,
what? The guy wasn't always old.
I did not need to know this.
Look, he wasn't always old. Come on.
I know. I still didn't need to.
Well, we did. Thank you, Benson. Very, very much. Really.
and everything's all right with your dinners. It's actually probably, I mean, for Frosa, this isn't education. This is, I mean, he's never had this kind of roast before. This is glorious. It really is. For Darvin, this rivals the last big ass banquet he wound up going to.
Yeah.
And for Hazel, this is awesome as always.
Yeah.
And for Nora, this is, I need to know how they got the skin that way. Dad would just
die.
Benson, can I just say, I've had roasts before. This is one of the best, honestly. And no, I'm not just blowing smoke up your ass.
I reckon I could tell that. Thank you.
Fair enough.
Best food.
This is stunning, and I don't use that word lightly. It's amazing.
Hey, Frosa, are you okay?
Oh, it's wonderful.
He's a little
Mr.
understated,
ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, yes. Jenna has mentioned. Speaking of, cuts eyes to Nora, looks at the rest of them, and
Guys.
with my work here is done. It says there's maple sugar pie for dessert, by the way, and walks out.
Darvin, why do you think you need a room?
No, maybe later. But guys, did Jenna remember?
Yes.
You can actually say she finished your armor. You can say that much.
Oh, I know. I'm too excited.
Something else happened to Jenna too, because the last thing I heard
The
was
armor is done.
Yes, the armor.
The armor is done, and it is the most glorious thing anyone has ever witnessed. Don't do things to it.
I wasn't gonna say.
I know you're gonna want to. Don't.
Not me. This one. I'm thrilled.
talking
I
both
can't wait
of
to see
you.
this one's reaction. Do things things to it. You're not supposed to do things to armor. You do things in armor.
You do
Oh,
things
wait.
in it.
That's
That sounds just
Wow,
as bad.
that sounds wrong too. Okay, never mind. And we're showing
I
the
make
DM
no
colors.
apologies. None.
I don't know what
Yeah,
to say to that.
First is actually choking on it. But
Nora,
Well, let's-
you will. Yeah.
All right then.
you at least have some place to go after lunch. Because
Finish lunch.
Yeah.
Move that way because I have to see this for myself at this point.
Yes, you do.
You have to promise me you're not going to go run off and do anything to Felicia.
I already said I wasn't gonna.
All right. Well, you said you wouldn't run off right now. I'm talking about later too.
Only way I'm gonna be able to punch her is if she gets within 2 feet of me. Unless she does that, I'm not swinging.
All right.
Like, do we need to put a hoop, like a 2-foot hoop around you then?
Maybe.
You
I
know,
think that's
I'm like,
bad. You know, we
I
can talk to
mean,
Jenna.
I mean,
She could weld something for Hazel's belt.
there you go.
You
First,
don't need to do anything.
while this is going on,
Don't let her in near me.
there is one last sensible question as plates are cleared away and this sort of maple sugar smelling pie wedges. Maple sugar pie is very interesting sort of dish. I may actually just have to fire a link at you later, but trust me when I say it's absolutely glorious. Nobody's asked how it went with Nora yet.
Nobody has said anything about Nora ever. This is like the funniest part of this whole thing.
Well, it's because we trust Nora to take care of herself and
Yeah,
not
really,
fuck up.
like-
Yeah,
Hey,
she's the only one of
best
us that would
paladin.
do.
Best paladin. Oi.
So while these ones are discussing
Anti-Felicia measures or
So
metal restraining
now
orders,
that-
as it were.
the more urgent matters are out of the way. How was your day?
Oh, right. Oh, sorry.
Less dreadful than yours.
Well, you got to see Eston punch somebody.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That was definitely something I will remember for years to come. I know a lot more about where the chasm is and what's in it, sort of, kind of. Eston, I can't let any of you see it because he might punch me, and then that would be really bad. But
he's in surprisingly good shape for somebody
yeah,
pushing 50.
and he can hit really hard, and I like my jaw in one piece.
This is why you're not sparring with Froseth anymore.
I learned from my mistakes.
Learn from my mistake. Sorry, I had to do that.
Why? Why would you do this to me?
I feel like I'm missing something
Critical
here.
I'm
roll.
saying, okay.
Victor.
Oh,
He's never got over it. Anyway.
Okay. So he gave me some, basically a crash course in Celestial, and I've got a primer I wrote up in my belt pouch, and it's got the alphabet and some basic vocabulary. Don't ask me to start speaking in it, but I can fumble through the sentence, I hope.
Good. That means if we ever meet anything with wings, feathers,
Yeah.
and glowing.
Well, I don't think I'm that good, but we can try. Hopefully, we don't need to. Let's see. So found where the chasm is. It's follow the cliffs of White Hope, and there's a path on the westward side.
Yeah, you guys, Hazel and Nora, and actually Froseth know the Cliffs of White Hope because you all had to go past them to get this far south.
Okay.
Basically, the river that you went down, as it goes north, you get higher elevation until, upward coasting becomes the Cliffs of White Hope, which is the last arable land at the top of it that you got before Cragveer. But the rest of it is there's this. If anybody was into geology, they'd know that there's about half a mile of white chalk cliff, and then arable land for a while. On the west and eastern, the western side. The eastern side is more, it's a bit more dry brush rather than good farmland like you find in places like Golden Dale.
So like scrubland.
Yeah, Darvin's just not familiar because he's never been that far north.
I'm just using the term for myself.
Yeah.
Okay, so Lyra and Ellery, who's a cleric of, is it Istis or Istis?
Istis.
I thought so. Yay. A cleric of Istis. We scribed for it, and like I said, Cliffs of White Hope, path on the westward side. But we got a really interesting message back. It was, you will meet the tongues of angels and the wrath of the unworthy. Tread soft, look sharp, think hard, respect Nasor. Nasor in all things, for he is wise and guards what you seek. He's the last thing. I have to face his challenge and succeed, and I'll get Pelor's beacon. But if I fail, it remains buried when our world needs it most. So no pressure.
So who's Nasor? I'm assuming you don't. Is it a god or person, or do we know?
They don't think it's a god. Well, it's certainly not in any pantheon you know.
We didn't get that much information, unfortunately.
Sounds like a guardian of some kind.
That's okay.
Your sound cut out, Ethan.
Sorry. It's kind of what I figured, but I mean.
Yeah. Make me an Arcana check.
All of us?
Yes.
Where's clarity?
11. Holy shit!
The Estan actually gave Nora a clue without letting on that he had. When he was going through Celestial, he was also talking about various of the beings that you might encounter that speak it. He went into not any particular detail about the two kinds of sphinxes, but he did, when he was going into word and sentence structure, talked about naming conventions. Nasor sounds like it's one or the other kind of sphinx.
Okay. When Estan was giving me this crash course and telling me kind of a general idea of what we might run into that might speak this, well, in some of them he gave me a little bitty cultural crash course too with those beings, I guess, so I could understand them better. And Nasor sounds like a name belonging to one of two types of sphinxes. I mean, it's a guess.
Yes, that makes sense. That makes. I mean, that jibes with. There's a lot of that jibes with Guardian stories.
Yeah.
Some of the songs that you hear. That's
and
exactly
a lot
the
of
type
respect.
of thing. Yes, exactly. That's the type of thing that would pop up.
Do
that
not
makes sense.
anger the Sphinx, because it will likely bite your face off.
Well, and sphinxes put forth challenges that you have to pass.
In fact, Nora does know that sphinxes are often set by gods to protect items of power.
And sphinxes are often placed there by gods, and this is Pelor's beacon. I mean,
Yeah, there.
it makes sense
Yeah,
that
yeah,
Pelor would put a sphinx there.
that makes complete
So,
sense. I mean, there's
not,
stories. Yeah,
I mean, I'm not entirely positive, but it feels like a pretty good guess from what I do know.
at the very
Hey,
least, all this. Now
Walk in the sun, you'll be fine.
I'm going in shadow in a chasm. I kind of have to. It's the way it works.
Oh, we're
Well,
bringing
well,
the sun
yes.
with us then.
Metaphorical sun.
Well, you can
The
still
actual sun.
bring. I don't know. I was like, I thought just bring a big mirror. You know, just bing, you know. I mean,
Okay, this is the point at which Nora and Hazel are going. That's about 3 steps away from blasphemy.
what?
Stop.
Darvin,
Stop.
desist, or this goes in your ear.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, bring the light.
No.
And
So
something else goes somewhere uncomfortable.
Okay.
not that far.
Just
Sorry.
No.
Stop.
Okay.
Yeah, Furseth knows this look. Furseth had a few misunderstandings of what monks are and what they do, and this is even worse because it's clear that for all their, no nonsense practicality or their uh, apparently juvenile, but not really, method of expression, that this form of worship is really significantly important to them, as important to them as the elements are to him. And to have somebody sort of, they're Darvin's starting to cross a line, and Furseth can actually watch him doing it. So he's getting looks.
Good boy.
I'm stopped. I'm sorry. I didn't mean any offense. I was just. I thought that was the logical progression between
Yeah,
method
zip
of-
it.
Sorry.
Zip it. So, things we need to be doing. I
Um,
think-
you know what? None of
the one
us
thing we haven't done yet: potions,
food.
rations,
Yeah,
things to be traveling with so that we don't fall over.
that occurred to me today too. So
One other thing, we should really stop by Edwina's and get the cloth of,
cloak. Yeah, if it's still there.
because
yeah.
it goes on you. See, Froseth has his whole ice face thing, and you're always in the face of the things that he's spraying coal at. So
While he is flailing, while she is flailing, the rest of you will also remember what Clarity had to say about a lot of the people and things they would face doing cold damage.
Yeah, I agree. I think we should go get it. We have enough in the party funds where I feel comfortable that it's not going to be.
you're carrying all of it too.
Well, no.
Yeah,
To be fair, she's not carrying the 500. The 500 is still tucked
At the
away.
harbor.
But even with, you still had 182
I think.
minus the 35 that you gave to Jenna. So that's 150.
147. Yeah.
So you're good for the.
Still can't. Well, we're carrying enough between all of
21.
us. I've still got some too.
Yeah, I've still got some.
Yeah,
From my
And I've still got,
purchases.
yeah, and I've still got some from when I started out because all I had to buy was the stuff when we
I
first met
started
up.
with basically nothing, so
I started
I
with
had, like,
less than
Literally
that.
nothing. Well, he started with a couple of silvers, enough to buy himself a beer. That was basically it, because it was part of his story. In any case, we're coming on to our midway point, so we will say that they have a discussion over. I imagine that Jenna's is going to come first because they will be tormenting her. They'll be tormenting Nora about this armor and giving her that that look that's on Smeagol's face right now, that look.
And a whole lot of, hey, remember that bit right, like over at the, and oh, and then the bit like the thing over, oh, it's gonna be a whole lot of that from Darwin, just like, oh, and there's that bit where it does the thing right there, and oh,
Hand over mouth.
yeah, you do that. I pick up the mug and start going thunk.
In any case, the mood is the tense mood of blasphemy is broken by sibling teasing for the remnants of lunch. Lunch will run you total. We'll say we'll round it up to a gold piece, just because it was a pretty sizable thing, and I imagine.
I got this.
Tip well.
She's just going to hand Benson 3 gold pieces.
Bam.
Wow.
Thank you.
We might be back later.
I'll put this aside then. Thank you. We've come to the end of Goose, but roast continues through the rest of the evening. We're looking at beef for the actual later dinner.
Darwin just
I'm
goes,
making a noise that everyone else can remember from the last time.
and Darwin's just going, not moose.
But this about covers your dinner, etc. If you somehow run out of that on alcohol, I'll let you know. And on that note, we will take a 5-minute break, and we'll come back to have Nora actually see her new armor.
All right, on that, I'm gonna stay.
And we're back. Okay, after an illuminating lunch on a variety of levels where most faces went unpunched, at least by the party, they finish up and they leave the Golden Bough, probably still teasing Nora.
It's very shiny. Don't do anything to it.
You already said that one.
Do not give yourself a story in this town. It will never go away.
Oh, you mean like
I
all
don't
of
know,
yours?
exactly like all of mine.
Of course, Nora can
Yeah,
bring up
she
the
owns 'em.
tree.
Oh, you mean like the one with the tree and your jacket?
I'm going to break her nose. I am going to break her nose.
You already promised you wouldn't.
Well, she promised she wouldn't swing at her.
I made a
That
promise
says
you wouldn't go
nothing.
after her.
That says nothing about divine retribution.
A paladin you are not.
Yes, exactly. I am not a paladin.
Don't make me turn this road around.
U-turn.
Jenna's Pastor, go now. Yes, I'm gonna get behind Nora and just start pushing.
All right, easy.
Wow, this is the first. Usually it's the one holding the other back, not... Okay.
Okay, you reach you reach Jenna's blacksmith shop, and for once she does actually seem to be it's predominantly between projects. She's apparently sorting some rather unique looking bits of scrap. You
Hello!
can't really tell. Oh, hello. Ah, finally brought around, have you?
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm
they
gonna
have,
keep
and
doing anything to it.
they haven't told me much other than it's glorious. That's pretty much
Well,
the sum of what I've gotten.
you've given it quite the build-up, haven't you? Well, come through to the back, and I'll give you a look.
I
See
am
if it-
still shoving Nora
I'm
along.
just trying to get to where I can see the look in her face. I'm just like...
Hazel feels on the back of her robes, metal fingers clamp. Lift.
Oh no. Oh, no.
She's got feet, lass. Let her use them. Swings her back a couple of feet and puts her down.
Mm. Okay.
Milady Paladin, and leads you into the back where there's a sort of people-shaped item draped with a cloth. Right, 3, 2, 1, and there it is in the bronze trim and the sun on the front and the white enamel. Now the enamel's gonna take a little bit of maintenance, but I thought you might find it worth it. One thing I ought to mention, outside here, she takes Nora's hand and puts it on the sunburst, and it does feel a bit like scale. That's young bronze dragon. That'll give you resistance to lightning. And if you look here, and she turns the breastplate around, where you see this amber-colored stretch that looks like very heavy hide, or even like the shell of what might be a beetle. That's Umber Hulk. That'll keep dents to a minimum.
Oh,
It's still as solid as it was. It's just got a few added extras.
oh, Jenna, they sold it short. Oh, this is stunning. Thank you. Oh, wow. And it's mine? Really?
Well, you might want to try it on. She's actually got a screen set up.
Oh, yeah, turn around.
Jenna suggests that she tries the armor on.
I do
I
so.
mean, there's the padding that goes with it, because that all sort of came in a. And out comes Nora in that armor, and she does look like something out of Bardic Tale. It goes so well with the hair and everything.
I feel like I belong in a story or some amazing song. This is incredible, and the fit is fantastic.
I was
and
planning on it.
you better be, or we're gonna have words, some serious ones.
So pretty.
No
And you
petting the
can't-
paladin.
I mean, it's not any lighter, but there is a little bit more freedom of movement than your original armor. She's taken the +1 that you already had and improved it to the point where it's hardly the same armor.
Oh, this is amazing, Jenna. Thank you.
Not at
I'm in
all.
love. I am in absolute love. Oh,
This
is
is what a paladin is supposed to look like.
yeah, it is.
Glory
It
to
is.
best paladin.
This is what Nora the paladin is supposed to look like.
When I was little and I heard stories, this is always what I imagined.
She
I-
just leaned against her counter, arms folded, smiling.
I cannot thank you enough. This is amazing.
Yeah, look on your face is quite enough for me. Thanks very much.
I think I might cry. I'm not even a little bit kidding. This is wonderful. I almost don't want to take it back off, but I kind of need to. And you're sure you won't let us pay you for it?
I told you, money's no good here.
All right, well, I'm gonna go change so I don't make Hazel nervous. I might do things I shouldn't. I will be right back. I'm back behind the.
She does call back. If you're that worried about it, I'm gonna be at the Golden Bough for dinner. You can buy me a drink.
I'll buy you more than that.
She just shakes her head and gives it that. Nora is finding that it's her original set of armor was all, buckles in places, and this is a fair bit easier.
Yeah.
So, Nora, you gonna propose to Jenna yet?
I might. I am sorely tempted.
Hell, I'm still tempted after the freaking rapier.
I saw her first.
Sorry, darlings, I am married to my work.
Well, well, the obvious retort to that is lucky work. It is glorious, as are you.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you all quite kindly. Now, I'm sure you've got other bits to do, so.
One quick question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to reach in the bag of holding, produce the hammer I got.
Oh,
This one
God. Oh, God, are they still carrying that piece of crap around? Picks it up. I did not want to make this. I can do so much better. Give me 2 hours and shoves
Wait,
you
what?
all out.
Okay, I don't say anything. I just.
Okay then.
And you
That was a thing.
You hear click, 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 whoosh, bang, 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 bang.
All right.
I was not expecting that.
I wasn't either. What was that? The hammer you found?
Yeah,
Yes.
we figured it was. We suspected it was probably one of hers. I guess we were right.
It looked fancy and reasonable, but given what you know of Jenna now, it looked like a piece of crap from her perspective, commissioned that was good, but more for appearances, and she's not having it.
All right. So our next stop was the candy store, was it not?
Onwards to Edwina's!
Oh, candy! I need to give Evan those gummy bears I bought. The squidgy bears. I still have them. I need to remember to do that.
I
Don't
am
let me
already
forget.
charging up the road. Bye, guys.
And when Hazel barges through the door well ahead of you guys, just like, stop right there.
Frozen. Like a statue.
Waiting for your handler.
I'm going to remain frozen. Not moving. Not even an iota.
At which point, you guys see back of Hazel get smaller, and stop in the doorway, hands up, just Like she's run into a glass wall.
I wonder if she's still blinking.
I don't know. You weren't after that drink this morning or this afternoon, so it's possible.
When you guys do finally arrive, it's all right. You can come in now. Gives Froseth a nod, and what for her is a smile.
Very slowly unfreezes, inches in, and then sideways it into a corner.
Right, what can I do for you?
We were coming to inquire if you still had that cloak you showed us a couple of days ago.
No, we've got so much business it went like that.
I am not surprised to hear it.
Is there sarcasm in your country?
No, not
She looks at you for a moment and then gives you this grudging nod. Come through to the back. Yeah, there it is. It's,
And you wanted 20 gold for it, if I remember correctly?
yes, I did. We aren't told, Jenna.
No, and I don't. I fussed at Jenna for some of what she charged that I've seen going around, and this is certainly a case where I wouldn't want to offer too little. Are we all back there, or is it just me?
That depends. She just said come through to the back. Whoever was going is going.
I'd
We're gonna
go
leave
with.
In the corner. I am not moving.
You're not leaving her alone in there.
Process. Why did you come through with me? And Weena likes you.
I was about to
I
say,
will.
Froseth, you go. I'll stay here.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Anything else you were in the market for? And she's looking Froseth up and down and going. It's the Nora will recognize this. Froseth will not because he's. I mean, mostly it was just something that approximately fit was thrown at him most of the time. This is a woman who has an internal measuring tape.
Ah, yeah.
I mean, hell, Darvin would recognize this look in a heartbeat.
Yep.
Froseth, I think she might have things you could use as well.
Well, what?
Well, I just need to have a double check of something.
Yeah.
I've been hearing, and this is all Jenna, so you don't have to worry about her ladyship gossipy nonsense. But you're more the up-close fighter, aren't you?
I am.
Let's see what we got. And she opens up what looked from the outset like just a broom cupboard door, and what you get inside is a essentially a walk-in closet. One of those situations wherein you didn't think the room was quite this big.
Hidden rooms, I like it.
Now, I gotta ask a question, because you know how rumors get, and even with people like Jenna and her ladyship Pelor cleric, not the accident-prone one. I prefer to have it straight from the source.
Yeah.
You're fighting something bad, aren't you?
Yeah. There's no maybe. There's yes. It's something bad.
Yes.
And see, I gotta be frank with you. This didn't leave this room. I'm from Cragvere, originally, up in Hammer Hollow. I left when I was fairly young. My parents, they used to work up round, not the monastery, but where your people used to be
Oh.
from. I don't really remember the place, but it once was really wee, and I haven't heard anything since. Nor has anyone else. When we don't normally, because most of the people that go up to live there, they don't come back to Hammer Hollow. Family circumstances, none of your business. But I have a feeling that whatever you've been on about of late has to do with that. Well, in which case, and she reaches in and she pulls out, it's not quite a robe, it's more of it's more of a gi. It's more the kind of martial artist thing that you would actually have got at the monastery for the more really martial of you.
Yeah.
It's charcoal gray with a sort of a brownish hint to it. It's simple, no ornamentation whatsoever, but it's sized for a dragonborn. This one of the things the rumors that been going around today and yesterday, necrotic damage is gonna be a problem, isn't it?
Probably.
Not as much, and she hands it to you. This gives you resistance to necrotic damage.
Okay. OOC question. Would this actually count as armor? Because I lose a lot of stuff if I'm wearing any type of armor.
Not in this case, no.
Okay.
It's cloth. It's not. It's not going to change your AC in any meaningful way. The way an armor class would. It's a shirt of a weave you've never seen.
Okay.
But because, I mean, she's basically going, if you're an upfront fighter and you don't do it with armor, which you don't.
No.
You need something.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Same price as the robe. You can cover that in party funds easily because with the 20 that's 127. So you'd be at 107 party funds total. With even and even considering the there's still the 500 sitting and whatever personal funds you guys have got. And given Froseth saw what happened to Clarity, and that was unrelated.
I'll take the extra necrotic resistance for sure. Okay, so
and again, this doesn't leave this room, but good luck, and I wish you well. Now out.
Thank you very much.
She gives a nod. No, you guys cannot hear any of this. You just hear eventually.
Can I hear any of it?
Oh, you can.
There. You were there.
I was like, I didn't know if she dragged it into the closet or if it was still within my earshot.
No, you were in there because it's back room and then closet.
Right.
All these two here is now out.
Yeah,
I just grab. Hey, I just put my hand on his shoulder and we just go right out the door.
Oh, hey, I'm already. I hear the first inklings out and already scrambling before you even got a chance to grab me.
Okay.
I am gone.
Edwina stops snoring and goes, they do know that I meant if they weren't gonna buy anything.
I think they were just being safe, but I'll take a couple of maple sticks if I might with our brother purchases, and I'll pay you for all of it.
She looks around. It's rest day, so there aren't actually any people in, and she goes, "You've just dropped 40 gold in here." Slap. Slides over slides over a copper's worth.
Thank you. And grab, I guess the Anthea says his, but I'm gonna put stuff in the bag of holding, and off we go.
So I'll take my robe.
I'm gonna pull Froseth outside, out of earshot of the other two.
Okay.
So her parents used to work out. Do you want to go back and talk to her on your own about maybe if her parents knew you or your parents? I can drag the other two off somewhere else.
I think that might be better for a future conversation. I'm still
I know
coming
it's a
to
lot.
terms with things.
Okay. I just thought I'd make the offer.
I appreciate it.
All right. And I guess we'll join back up with the other two.
Yeah, we're just
The
outside.
other-
We're just outside. Just. Boy, what a sky like sky.
And I come out with like a maple stick
Boss.
in my mouth, corner of my mouth. You could have bought candy.
Yeah, I was going to, but then she said out, so I figured, out.
The
You
word
know why I did exactly what I did.
the word you guys were looking for was she was talking to us.
She was talking to us in the back. She wanted us out of the back.
I'll go back later. And I'm bringing you with me because you won't let me in otherwise.
Fair enough.
I just.
And here I got another maple stick. Do you want it? I'm gonna give it to Darvin.
No.
Okay, all right.
I was gonna get Evan some, but they can wait.
I still have squidgy bears. I need to give him here. They can be from you, and I'll just dig in the bag of holding and hand out the little bag to him.
Okay.
I was gonna sneak them onto his pillow, but it's been insane. And then I stayed a night at the shrine, and opportunities have been few.
Thank you.
It's fair.
Potions? Potions.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's do that.
Yes, across the main square there is a small but sturdy-looking wooden building, which you see drying herbs hanging in the windows. It's and there aren't really much in the way of signs on anything but the pub. So this is the only way you really know that this is the local apothecary, potion brewer, that kind of thing. It's a provincial place, so I mean, for Nora, this is a small town place. There probably won't be a huge selection, but they probably also brew their own, so the prices aren't going to be as bad as you'll find in the city. Darvin has seen the potion prices in the big city, and he's like, we're not going to be able to get very much if they have things in this tiny little provincial place. And Frostus like, I wonder where those came from.
About me.
You haven't actually partaken much because Twilly and Miranda do a lot of their own brewery work in that regard, but and they don't use them very often anyway, and now you know why. Remember, Twilly can cast Cure Wounds.
And mending.
Yes, but mending is things.
Well, she mentioned
Cure.
it, but she mentioned.
Yes, well, the reason that she mentioned it is because kids get hurt and break things.
Yeah. And let me tell you how many pairs of jeans my son went through in a 3-month period one time because he'd wear holes in the knees.
Oh, he did too.
So mending is for like,
Candy.
is for objects. Cure wounds is for people. But you guys have seen, everybody but Nora has seen Twilly basically take clarity from nearly no hit points to only one down. So yeah, Hazel knows that her family does produce a fair few of the more basic herbs for this place, and she hasn't shopped there a lot. But she does know that Randon is human. He's sort of mid-40s. He's grown up in town, as far as Hazel is aware. He's known the Hearthhearts nearly as long as he's been alive, and he's a nice enough sort of guy. Sings badly when he's had a few too many at tavern. Portly sort of guy.
Is this the guy from the shrine this morning?
You don't know. This is what Hazel knows.
Darn it. Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know if we had walked in and seen him yet.
No.
Opening door. Hello.
Yes, it is the person that.
Ah, shit. Okay.
What?
All right, that was out of character. Sorry, that was completely out of character. All right, fine. All right, so I'm gonna walk in and kind of see that and stop just kind of in the door and watch. I'm not gonna say anything else. I'm gonna walk in far enough to let everybody else come in behind me who might be behind me, but I'm just gonna kind of watch for a hot minute.
Wary look from this guy. That part of it does not take an insight check. He's more guarded than Hazel's ever seen him. But frankly, tick, 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 think about it. And he's just...
So, he and I are eyeing each other down.
He does actually have the start of a fairly tremendous black eye.
I start inflating a little bit.
You don't know what's going on. Yeah. Remember, in character, you don't know that this is the guy I saw. I haven't said anything yet.
To be fair, though, wary look, black eye.
Point, but.
And you did say
Eston hit somebody.
So it doesn't,
yeah. So yeah, I'm a whole Studio Ghibli inflating sort of look for a second, and
Hazel.
No, before Darvin, you even just say anything, like
Can I help you?
Potions, we need them.
Why?
I'll let Nora do the explaining. I'm bad at it.
I wasn't aware that people needed to justify purchases before they made them.
Well, I suppose they don't, but can't that one... What are you after?
Hazel, what do you think we're after?
Healing?
How
Potions?
many? Well...
How many do you have?
This guy is sort of sitting back in his chair like, I have crazy people. I've had a hard day, and now I have crazy people.
Just... What's the stock like? What do you have?
Oh,
Healing potions first, anything else, whatever.
well, mostly it's rest day, so some stuff is sort of in the process of long brewing. I've got 4 regular healing potions.
How much for the lot?
50 gold. You are getting significantly rooked.
Oh, for 50 gold, those better heal me, make sure I never have another injury day in my life. Oh, and maybe heal black eyes.
It should give you...
Possibly.
He just sort of gives a shrug and is waiting for a response.
yeah, nope.
Not at that price.
I just noped out the door.
I mean, just. I'm looking at the two people.
Well,
I came in
Darvin's
with.
just walked.
Yeah, I walked. I
Darvin
just
just walked
noped right
out.
out the door.
I mean, Darvin just turned around and said no, and
Yeah, I think I'm right on his heels. Clearly, this
Yeah.
man doesn't want any business, so I'm not going to foist it upon him.
He does not seem overly bothered by this
I didn't
particular
think he
business
would.
leaving.
I didn't think he would.
man, missing out. At least one of those dude that just left was a noble. Shuts door on way out. Can I break
Dang it.
something?
I didn't hear.
No.
I didn't hear that, but damn, I wish I had.
I am rather proud of you for not flipping out on the guy. I saw you puff up there.
Congratulations, Hazel. We're all proud of you. Give her a little kiss on the side of the head.
I'm just like, no.
Darvin, come here. Finger, ear.
Okay, well, this does leave us with a small problem. We don't have any potions yet. He's the only purveyor in town. He clearly doesn't want our business. So,
Hazel, any ideas?
I mean, Mom and Mama sort of, kind of do a little bit on their own, but
You know, I mean, I was gonna ask.
we can see what they might be willing to spare or what we could brew quickly with things that we could procure that aren't,
Okay, none of you have had that kind of training. Probably the
I didn't. Well, I
closest
figured
is-
they could talk us through it with if we got the ingredients there. Was my thought.
But to be fair, what Hazel hasn't said is where does this guy get some of his ingredients?
Oh snap! Hazel
I
put together.
mean, Mom and Mama do the stuff themselves because they're the ones who give stuff to this idiot.
Well, wait.
Sell stuff to this idiot.
Oh, you give him for money.
Hazel, why are you not leveraging that? You could march back in there and demand that he help us, or you're going to tell your mothers and they will yank his supply.
Well,
Doesn't that hurt? Okay, Nora.
That's the problem.
Nora's. Yeah, Nora will actually feel Pelor giving her a disapproving
No.
look.
It was a thought.
Yeah, you.
Now, Twilly and Miranda could speak to him, but something like that would be on them to make that kind of a
Right.
call. Really, I mean, you don't want to walk in on somebody else's business, and that's not really our business, even if it is kind of tangentially. Either way, we don't need to deal with this guy right now.
No. The only other thing is we do need potions, but let's see what Twilly and Miranda might be willing to spare, or let us buy off them, or
Something.
anything.
We have options, is what I'm trying to say.
So okay, so that's potions at least taken care of for now.
And provisions, well,
Yeah, that's the other thing.
we haven't
Well,
asked.
let's figure out the foodstuffs for travel.
But while you've been considering buying things from Twilly and Miranda, a beautiful solution presents itself. You have been concerned about them accepting money. They can probably create portable provisions, possibly with magical assistance, given that now you know what Twilly can do, or have some idea. So what if you paid them for provisioning and potions?
Which is
Well-
what I was trying to
Yeah, and I
but
said
you
pay
were-
for potions.
get to.
Yeah, if it was just
Halfway there.
potions.
I got halfway there.
Yeah, that's why, but
Yeah.
it basically all hits you. at the
Ethan, is
same
that an
time.
Yeah.
in-character or an out-of-character face grab?
Out. That's why.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, this all basically hits you at about the same time.
It's like, yeah, I mean, Mom and Mama can do stuff, and we could ask them what they can do.
All right. Well, then
We've already
I think
done
that
so much
settles
already.
it.
To
And-
the home space.
Well,
Well, I thought no, we were gonna
Dinner.
dinner here, weren't we?
yeah.
Yeah.
And also,
Point.
given Edwina's, then there was the hammer.
And Froseth, did you ever get your picture?
No.
Or was that going to take a little while longer? I don't remember.
Well, you do actually have Barreras set up in his usual little rickety, not stall. It doesn't even seem to be a stall. It's just where he sits.
It's his spot.
The local kooky old man.
Also,
I love it.
The local kooky old man is doing pretty well for himself, all things
Doing
considered.
pretty damn well.
Yeah.
as opposed to the kooky young half elf.
Okay. Anyway, what, Ethan?
Stuff it, you.
That decree was that put up in just one place, or are there like other places where it's been put up? 'Cause
There are other spots.
I wanted to try to get a look at it at some point in our travels. If I
Yeah,
could.
you'll have passed by a signpost or two, which, while it does not mention anyone specifically by name, obviously they don't want to cause too much attention. What it essentially says is that those with arcane gifts are not considered to be in any way. First of all, they are not considered to be in any way contraindicating the no weapons agreement of Goldendale. And then it goes on to explain how most arcane abilities are a natural result of bloodline or study and have no bearing on an individual's personality. It's essentially designed to indicate that the person who has the gifts is the person with gifts. That it's still essentially the same Twilly that they've known for 40 years.
Okay.
But obviously not making any specifics, because it's also not only helpful to preserving Twilly, as it were, but anyone else who lives in town who might have been sweeping magical gifts under the rug don't have to panic so much. They're trying, or the Baron's trying anyway.
Bravo.
So where do we want to go if we're just going to meander around town some?
Well, we need to see Barreras to see if he's done with Froseth's painting, or at least where he is in the process.
He's sitting within line of sight anyway. He's
Okay.
off in the middle of the square. Just he's working on something. You don't know if it's that or if it's some other.
So we'll still need to go over there and talk to him then. And then I'm assuming enough time has not passed for her hammer to be done yet.
It might well be, actually, because if you had to talk to Edwina,
Got it.
she had to dig through her various bits and pieces to find what she needed for Froseth. Then you had to cross the place to talk to the potions guy, and there was a good long moment of just eyeing each other, frankly. Then there was the discussion outside, finding a convenient proclamation, for lack of a better word, and to sit down and actually stand there and actually read it and get a feel for what it's actually saying.
Okay.
And
so-
if you add picking up or asking Barreras to that, should be. Given that she did finish Nora's armor a little bit sooner than she said she was going to.
Okay, so let's do Barreras first and then back to
Okay.
Jenna. That should build in enough time to make sure that Hazel's hammer is done.
So yes, to get the image, because I want to see it.
I do too.
I mean, I've never laid eyes on anything dragonborn like that related. Sorry, no offense.
I
Technically,
don't.
neither have I.
I say I don't think
Ouch!
any of us
Yeah,
have.
sorry. I didn't mean to put it like that. Damn it! I'm sorry.
Finger Darvin's ear.
Will you?
I'm just gonna kind of walk
Quit.
by and kind of
God.
clap the back of his shoulder and just keep walking.
When you get
You
to
will learn.
when
I
you
have to. So do you. Sorry.
when you get to Barreras, thankfully for you guys, he is finishing up something. And what he is finishing up, you don't know if it's his own project or if someone has asked about it or what. But this will be of particular interest to Hazel. The setting is the market square, but you can see garlands of flowers and little candles in paper lanterns around the place, and you have Twilly and Miranda. Twilly in this cupcake of a dress. And she wears it remarkably well for a cupcake, actually. It's the kind of thing that Darvin would normally laugh at because he's seen so many women in those dresses because it was what they were supposed to wear. But clearly for Twilly, it's what she wanted to wear, and
It shows.
It like her face is just remarkably alike. Miranda is wearing a kind of a dress that Nora has seen once. Her mother had a formal dress like that, and it may have at one point been Nora's dream to actually be able to fit into it. She'd always said it was a southern land style. It's very sleek, it's very minimal, one shoulder sort of a thing. It's more what we would have modern, so it looks really avant-garde, but it suits her very angular frame and no nonsense, no frills demeanor. It's their wedding. Looks up and looks at Hazel. Is she trying to ask how much?
I
believe
possibly.
so.
As I have already drawn it, I'd say 3 gold.
3 gold.
Rolls it up. Thank you for your custom. And before you ask, young man, he reaches into one of the little drawers on his rickety old table and unrolls, and you'd only seen it in a hand-sized illusion. This, he's managed to get in a bit more detail by slightly skewing the style. It's not photorealistic, but there's little bits off to the side where he's added the kind of detail work that you would have had to lean in really close on an illusion to see, so you can see some of the things that are in the stalls, and there's a bit of there's a crest on one of the buildings that you couldn't see in the illusion because it was it was just a static illusion, but it's this sort of snowflake design with crescent moons on either side of it, and little bits of detail like that.
Okay.
And he's clearly going, I know you've already paid, I just want to make sure you feel you've got your money's worth.
Yes, without a doubt.
Rolls it up and hands it to him. Thank you for your business.
Thank you very much.
I imagine Hazel still clutching this thing, going,
Meeping all over the place.
Except if she keeps clutching it quite that hard, she
You're
could
gonna smush it.
crunch it.
You're gonna smush it.
Don't crinkle it.
Bag of holding very slowly.
I imagine that once things have died down a little, your tiefling friend will be back.
I think so.
Yeah.
She just took a day off today.
I think I can understand.
She's reading all the things.
That as well, perhaps. that part he doesn't know about, but he's clearly got some idea of why. And he does sort of look to you guys and goes, I suppose, though, that I should be a little bit grateful. Does a quick burst of firework. You don't think I could do work this fast and copies that fast without some sort of ability, do you?
I'm gonna grab Hazel's finger, grab her hand, just like lower it.
No, that's the thing, lad. Now I don't have to. Thus, a thanks. Gives a little bow from his seat.
You are amazing.
And he just gives a little smirk and a nod.
Come on, let's go.
Alright, so on to the next then. So the next was we were gonna go to Jenna's, yes?
Yes.
We're gonna get a
Alright.
on Jenna's, and just as you open the door, ha!
What the?
I think she did it.
You all are gonna hate me for this.
After what you've given me, I think you'd have to try pretty hard. But
Holds out the hammer, and it's actually now looking less ostentatious, but more classically designed. But there's a certain sort of crackle to it. It's hard to define, and it's hard to even see, but there's something. 2 words: thunder damage.
you know I'm usually
Nice.
standing in front of her, right?
Well, she's just gonna have to learn to be careful, isn't she? Isn't she? No, you listen to me, young lady.
Ooh.
This has gone from some nobleman's bloody toy to a masterwork weapon. You better be deserving of it, or I'll take it away and give it to someone who can use it right. And I'll
Yes,
know. You prove yourself with this.
Yes,
And she holds it out.
very carefully takes the hammer.
The balance is now, it was already better than your hammer, but now it's, for you. Be good with it. Be the wielder that weapon deserves.
Yes,
And I'm gonna pat Hazel's cheek and say, "You get it now, don't you?"
I'm just gonna say yes. Very yes.
Esther, I'm laughing. I'm laughing because it actually took me a second there, Nora. But yes, best question is best. Yes, exactly that.
I'm going to very carefully put this thing in the place where my hammer would usually be hanging, strapped to the armor, or stuff, or however it would be carried.
Yeah, you would usually wear it slung across the back. If you've got a
Instead,
specific
actually
spot
not
on
putting
your
it in the bag of holding because
lass.
wait. This is more shuffling and properly into the bag, just very, very carefully.
This is why I left mine at home.
It's still the +1. Plus 1d4 thunder damage.
Nice.
Oh dear God!
Big bada boom.
I hit something with this. They're gonna feel it.
They're gonna hear it.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the. I'm gonna need magical earmuffs.
Right? Yeah, well, we could go back to it doing it. See what she's got.
Hey, at this rate, I might need to. All right, was there any other business that we needed to handle before we kind of,
Go dinner.
yeah.
I'm
I
just
can't
sort of
think of anything.
vibrating in place, trying to figure out whether or not I should hug Jenna. Like, visibly vibrating.
What is up with her? Okay, I am sorry. Roll me a wisdom saving throw. At this
All of
point.
us?
No.
No. Sorry for Hazel. Wisdom check.
Natural 20!
Dang it.
You could get away with it, but they would laugh at you for the rest of your natural life.
Vibrating very slowly stops.
Jenna just sort of pats Hazel on the head with the non-mechanical arm. You're all right, lass. You're all right.
She's just really,
Thank
really,
you.
really appreciative.
I figured.
Yeah, was it that obvious?
I was around when her parents gave her the cloak of many things. She didn't even know what it was, I don't reckon. They tried to explain it to her, and then they had to actually demonstrate there were dogs. It was a thing.
Why am I not surprised there were puppies involved?
No, they were mastiffs, actually.
Bigots!
Big puppies.
Horse dogs. Horse dogs.
Very big dogs.
They chased Hazel and that cat up a tree.
Oh, was that?
Duke was not happy.
What was that?
No, that was
No, different.
Oh, different. Okay.
no.
How many
different.
trees have you run up?
All of them.
Yeah.
And all I had to run up were stairs.
Jenna pats her on the head again. You know how you show you care about people by flailing at them, or beating up anything that does them wrong, or hugging them, or sticking fingers in ears, or any of the rest of the stuff you do?
Oh, she she likes the people she does. Okay. That is wow. Okay. That explains a lot.
That's a sibling thing, Darvin.
Yeah, I know. I haven't had any.
The teasing and the talking about your exploits. That's other people's ways of showing they care. Otherwise, we just wouldn't let you into town.
Best town, best people.
Most of them.
Couple idiots.
Always one or two.
Oh no.
I know
What?
you're not saying. Don't say anything.
I was just gonna say I could never
I'm
find him.
I'll rub my fingers up against his mouth. Shh. No. No.
I'm gonna go back to putting stuff away, but I reckon I'll see you at the tavern later.
Yes.
there,
Yes, 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 yes,
and-
yes, 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 yes.
Much beef will be consumed.
You points at Hazel. Breathe.
Trying to.
No, no. Actual effort while I can watch. Breathe in. There you go. Try it again. One more time.
With it.
Better.
Much.
Yeah, get that way again. Do that.
Got it.
You're welcome. You owe me a second drink for that one now, so I can get some work done.
All right.
Man, she literally tempers anything.
Oh boy. Out the door with the lot of us, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is probably coming out of Darwin as he's walking out the door.
Yeah, that was
that's what I
exactly the
figured,
case.
yeah.
Yes, I was assuming we were on the way out. That was out.
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
just-
that was entirely. All these puns, they're all in character. I've not been at it.
Hands, buff, 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 buff.
I'm a bard. It's what I do.
We know. That's why we do this. Buff, buff, buff.
I need my
Okay,
brain
well-
in one piece to come up with these.
Hazel, gentle
to-
touches.
Yes, to be fair, Hazel is a little bit shorter, so she is probably getting more in the
Oh,
upper
shit, the
arm.
shoulder.
So
Okay,
it's
okay.
like don't. That's my playing arm. That's my courting arm. Stop that.
Anyway. Right. So on to food.
I think on to food, and I think we need to speak with Benson before Jenna gets in there and try to pay for her stuff before she even gets there.
Yes.
No arguments. So
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
I owe her that much at least.
Yay for finally
saw my
getting
armor
it.
and she
Yay
won't
for
let me
finally
pay
getting
for
it.
you saw my armor and she won't let me pay her. So yeah.
We get it.
First, we'll probably be wondering. Wasn't she talking about just leaving gold on the counter?
I did that last time.
Yes,
When
but
we-
she was talking about doing it again, and she seems to have completely forgotten.
No, we were shoved out the door. She was right there. I can't just leave it without her.
That's true enough. Okay, that's fair. Although in all fairness, she gave something more precious than the armor in teaching
Yeah.
Hazel how to.
Breathe.
Trying to.
Well, it's at least something that you guys can turn around to her and remind her.
Hazel. Jenna.
Yes, the dinner rush has not properly started by the time you get there, so it's there's a couple of people there. There's a certain sort of there's a side eye from the teenager, but it's more interested than anything else. You remember the teenage boy who
Yes.
who got bowed out of the pie eating contest at the same time as Clarity. It's really not very crowded. Torin is sitting in a corner, more or less on his own. He's dealing with a couple of bits of there's paperwork kind of taking over bits of the little table, but he's clearly staying out of the way.
Okay.
Very much not dealing with town right now. There may or may not be reasons for this.
Yeah.
I mean, first, what happened to the tavern? I mean, the whole
Yeah.
room's repaired and everything now, and then that. And yet
I'm looking
he-
around for
And
Benson.
yet he's still here.
You don't have to look around.
Ben-
You just slide up to the bar.
Yeah,
Anyway.
Benson's still behind. Benson's behind the bar. Looks happens, and oh, well, you get everything you needed done.
Yeah.
I think
Mhm.
we did.
And then some.
Oh yeah.
We actually want to go ahead and Jenna's going to be coming in and having drinks and dinner. We want to make sure that she's covered. So
You've still got at least 2 gold behind the bar.
I know.
If you run out of that with Jenna, besides there's a minor problem with that.
What?
She already paid a tab for the next month fixing the roof.
Oh, bloody hell.
Then
Did
can
she-
we
did she-
cover-
Did
That's
she then?
right.
She
Did,
went.
did she then ask you to buy a drinking?
I
Ah,
was not there. I was not there.
Yeah, for that part, and I forgot. And yeah,
I didn't know.
Jenna, you.
Care-
And here we are trying to be nice to her. Does she always
And
make
then-
it this difficult?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, she lives for work.
Can I
You know,
at least cover for? Hazel's trying to gesture in Torin's direction.
Well, like I say, you still got 2 gold behind the bar. I can add his tab to that, although in all fairness, he's already thrown a gold piece at me. But I'll try and work something out.
Okay.
To be fair though, large part of that gold piece was this. Ducks behind the bar and pulls out. Darwin is the only person who will really recognize this. Bottle of red wine. Very good vintage. He saw that at one of the last banquets he actually played at. It was one of those ones that they reserved for the high table. He got like a quarter of a glass of it, and oh my god, this stuff.
But I'll recognize at least the concept of what it is, and then
Oh, you'll all recognize it as red wine, but the value of it in and of
it's
itself is
specific.
yeah.
Got it.
I mean, you'll all know what a bottle of red wine looks like, even Furseth, he's been to a few taverns. But you all see Darwin's eyes just.
What?
That's
That, that's yours. Punk.
What?
That's what the gold was for.
I bet.
Gesture.
I think you just broke Darwin.
I'll let him explain. Are you
This-
you after the roast then?
Please.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
It'll take me a few minutes to put you together some plates.
This is,
Thank you.
This. The bank. One of the.
Darwin,
Sorry.
breathe.
Darwin,
Yeah. Hold
Darwin,
on.
do what I did,
Yeah,
and then words.
Give me a minute. One of the last banquets I was at that I played at, we're talking like this is like high table. This is
Woo.
this is like high muckety muck. Like this stuff was like liquid gold. I mean, yeah, well, okay. I mean, he paid it gold, so I mean, yeah, that makes sense, kind of. But yes, this is amazing stuff. I got a quarter of a glass, and I still haven't forgotten it.
Wow.
This is not the type of thing you flagging down. This is like you
Oh.
enjoy this.
Assuming there have been occasional glances in his direction, Torin just gives a little
Yeah.
tick fingers salute.
I'm just like I kind of want to open this now, but then I'm like the clarity's not here. So I think we're going to save it and bring it back with us.
I think decamping in one of the external rooms and catching her up when we see her, when we get back, would probably be a good idea. We can drink it then.
Give it to Nora, and then you can put it in the bag.
Would it be safe there, right? Out of curiosity.
It would
Yeah.
be safe there. Believe me, it would be safe there.
So, do I have to pry your fingers off the neck,
No,
or are we
no.
good?
I'll very carefully.
Okay. And I'll just carefully put it
It's
in
like
the bag
Lion
holding
King.
Assuming that they do approach Torin at that point, I understand you have a difficult night and probably a bit of a shaky day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's accurate. There was good sprinkled in.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. This is a lot, and I appreciate it. And yeah, it's been a trying nearly week in some aspects.
I can very much imagine, but I imagine, given the look on your faces, none of you are going to let me deal with your meals, but you could at least join me. For once, for one night, we can talk more tales and enjoyable things.
It would be a pleasure.
I'd like that.
Sounds wonderful.
It would be a pleasure.
I like this idea.
As we are coming to the end of our session, we will leave it at. I mean, Darvin's pretty good, but Torin's been doing this a while. Torin is a master, and he's got the stories, and his are all. Some of them are ones Nora's heard. Some are variations. Some are entirely new.
Oh, should we ask to see if he knows the name of that Sphinx? Because I can't really remember that.
Can
Or Nurser.
Nesor.
Nesor. Nesor.
Well, that's a question. Are you going to ask?
Sure.
We can.
He's heard a lot of stories. Let's ask him.
Yeah.
So, in chasing down information about Pelor's beacon, Lyra, one of the cleric at the shrine, and another cleric, and whose name I can't remember. I don't have my email open.
Ellery.
Ellery, there it is.
Ellery, the
Lyra-
cleric of Istus.
And Ellery and I did some scrying, and we came up with a name that we weren't sure of what it was. Nesor. Have you heard that? I mean, could you tell us anything?
Not a great deal. A lot of this ends up more in the mythology, and that was Zook, who was more the expert. But he does like to talk after you.
The gnome, the one that
Yes.
Right, that's
Yes.
what I thought.
the
That's
one,
what I thought.
the one that
Yeah, I remember.
helped
It
start.
I remember. It was the one who I thought it was. I just wanted to double check.
Yeah.
I remember.
Nesor sounds more male, so Androsphinx. Noble, but gruff.
Okay.
Very bent on the law and the rules that have been set to them. They test courage and valor,
Yeah, that's
quests,
Yep.
and its roar is, in and of itself, various different kinds of terrifying. Accounts vary on what it can do. But keep in mind, these are large beasts in any case.
Yes.
But if one passes, they do tend towards the generous. Have any of you heard of a hero's feast?
Have we, GM? I don't think we have.
Arcana check.
$11.
17.
15.
5.
I do not have the remotest idea how the monk is the only one who's heard of this bullshit. Actually, he knows of this. He's heard of this because he saw one shared once. Some of his more some of his brethren who were heading out for a mission he doesn't know anything about because he was too small, were supposed to be sitting down to a hero's feast, and it didn't look that impressive from what he saw. So he asked somebody about it, and what he was told was that it was a magical sort of a meal. The meal itself could be anything, but it would grant immunity to fear, immunity to poison. It's a feast of courage and strength, and it's a magical thing that apparently lasts about a day. And they broke one out when something really big and really nasty was, tromping around the monastery, and they came back with like something mammoth pelty looking, and everybody had new bedding that particular winter.
Okay, so I've heard of one then. It's magic. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it's a magical feast. It protects against poison, fear. It's something the monks did once before.
Yeah, they did it once. Apparently, it was hugely expensive.
Magic food?
Yeah, it's not cheap. I can't tell you how much, but it's
Sounds
expensive.
The times I've seen it cast, the components required were worth 1,000 gold.
Wow.
Wow.
I haven't barely seen nobles spend that much.
But for what it does, and for how long it does it, it can be worth it. The reason I bring it up is because on top of the challenge presented and the actual reward for it, sometimes if an Androsphinx is particularly impressed, they will provide one on a portable basis.
Whoa.
If sufficiently impressed.
Impressed, yeah.
No pressure.
I already didn't have any, don't worry.
You've got this.
We'll see. I hope so.
Nora. Sorry. Nora. Sorry.
This is going to be a thing.
You've got this.
Well, thank you.
You
It's
are
just-
best paladin.
It's a lot. I mean, I know we weren't going up against something small and easy, but
Well,
when
you're not going to be in the future either.
true. It's just when you're told that it's a pass fail, and if you fail, then everything's lost. It's a lot.
Well,
To be fair, they didn't say everything was lost. They just said that
It's-
thing was removed when.
Yeah. No, yeah, I know this is yeah. No, out of character, I got it. In character, it's kind of that's the emotional processing of how it in this moment.
Yeah, I got it.
But your
Oh.
faith in me means a lot. Thank you.
I'm going to get up, move over to Nora, hug a lot.
I'll show cat otter.
On that note, of course, you may want to recall the inspiration that you have in your own current shared household. At which point he does go into the ballad of the quick flight diminutives, the ultimate little guy winning out the small people who can do the most amazing things. And on that note,
Yep.
assuming a fine dinner and a quiet walk home, we'll end the session for tonight.
I like it.
I do too.
Yeah.